Well, hello, and thank you for joining our first ever remote ThinkHouse. I'm expecting this will be what can only be described as interesting, which will match obviously the interesting times in which we find ourselves. Just like to make a few introductory comments. First, I'd really like to say thank you to everyone for your support for ThinkHouse. It was a real disappointment for us to have cancelled the physical event. But the feedback you gave us was tremendous, both about our decision, but also about your keenness that we should present the material in a different format because you would have found it so interesting. So this is our attempt to meet that demand. Secondly, please forgive the format. It's fair to say, and I suspect like all of us really, we've been patching a few things together and put this format together, a bit like a Heath Robinson affair. Might be a bit clunky, but it does seem to be working. And I give praise to the gods of IT that business seems to be holding itself together pretty well. Please also forgive the informality of the speakers. We're all at home and spread out over the country. And so please, I hope, don't be too harsh in judging on our pajamas or our wallpaper as we sit here presenting. One of the advantages of doing a remote event is that I don't have to give any fire emergency notice, but of course you might like to check that you haven't left your kettle on or your deep fat fryer. Obviously on the Brexit topics, we've got a series of very interesting areas to discuss. We'll be looking at the UK-EU free trade agreement discussions, and how cross-border trade might look in the future. We'll also be looking at how EU law is going to survive within the UK environment. And then we'll be looking at how a number of areas are going to look post-Brexit, in particular employment law, data protection, and contracts. There are some PDF slides which you might like to download while you listen to these presentations, but you'll be able to access them afterwards. The accompanying email with this material, will also tell you how to access the various slides and the various presentations if you only want to listen to one or two of the topics that we've discussed. As usual, of course, please feel free to give us feedback, particularly if you think anyone's orange jumper didn't particularly go with their pink wallpaper. It did feel a bit bizarre to be talking about Brexit when COVID really is the news of the moment. And so I would just like to give you advance notice that in relatively short order, we're hoping to put on a Newsnight type question and answer session with a number of our experts to discuss the legal issues that we are already having to meet arising out of the COVID situation. But for now, do sit back and enjoy what we have to say about Brexit. Thank you.